Now, growing cocoa yams, or edos, from these tubers that I bought from a West Indian market stall is pretty straightforward. You won't get the leaves as big as you would from named varieties, but they are very cheap and they grow quite quickly and they're good for summer bedding, producing leaves up to maybe 50-60 centimetres at best, and they're always green and you won't get the coloured varieties that you can buy from specialist nurseries. Now, things to look out for when you do choose them is to try to get them from a stall that has a high turnover, so you're going to get fresh produce. This one here is a straightforward cocoa yam, Colocasia and Xanthasoma. You can see it pretty much looks the same all the way around, oval shaped. The top end, if you can just see, is where the growth point was. Concentric circles at the top there. That's unlikely to start growing again. What you'll find when you plant this is that these little side eyes here, like on a potato, these will bulk up and these will be the growth points and produce quite a lot of plants, and the actual tuber here will actually rot away. We'll come to that a bit later on. So that's a fair one to look out for, one with little eyes around. If you get one with a green stalk, all the better, as you know it's fresh and it will start growing pretty much immediately. This one here, again you've got the growth point there. That's not a bad one. What you don't want to buy are ones like this, where the top's been completely cut off, and obviously the growth points have all been cut away from the top, but you may still find that they grow from little growth points further down. But if you had a choice, I wouldn't choose one like this. Also, with it being cut like this, as soon as there's any moisture in the air, this will start rotting very, very quickly. So don't go for ones that have had the tops chopped off. Now, the other type of rhizome tuber that you might find is one that's like this. So it's long, pointy end at the bottom, it widens towards the top, and this will turn into a Xanthasoma, which is very similar to Colocasia but has different shaped leaves, and it's a bit stronger growing. And you can see on this there's almost a growth point about to grow at the top just here, and the main point will grow out of here, but again there's these smaller eyes around it which will also produce new plants. That's not a bad one. What you really want to do is look for one like this, and you can see the red shoots already emerging at the top, and you can see these little side eyes are also bulging quite a lot already. So try if you can to get them looking like that, and they're fresh and they will definitely grow. So what do you do with these once you've got them home? I'll show you that now. Okay, now we've got our Colocasia and Xanthasoma tubers. There's two ways we can prepare these so they start growing. The first way, the most simplest way, just get a plastic freezer bag. Put that in there and just give it a bit of moisture in there, so it's a breath of air. It's not meant to be funny at all. And that's all the moisture to get it growing. Any more moisture and it might start rotting. So that just needs to get fully sealed at the top. It's really important you do that. And put that somewhere warm, like on top of a fridge or in the airing cupboard. A little bit of moisture that you breathe into the bag will keep it so it starts to grow. Keep it in a constant environment by sealing the bag. So I'll do that with a Xanthasoma tuber as well. Make sure that's really well sealed, and they'll go into my airing cupboard and kept warm. Second method, which hopefully should give quicker results, is to get your tubers put them into a container. Here I'll just put them into an old pan and cover that with sort of warm water, so sort of like bath temperature water, not boiling water, and completely cover them. And just leave them to soak for 24 to 48 hours. Maybe twice or 3 times a day, change the water and again put warm water in. And on the last soak, so the last lot of water that goes in, add quite a bit of hydrogen peroxide, and that'll stop any rot starting. And this sort of kills any sort of bacteria or mould that's forming on the tubers. And you have to be careful how much you put in. This is 6%, you don't want to put more than 2% strength in there. So once it's been soaking for 2 days, on the very last time you change the water, you need to put some hydrogen peroxide solution in, and this will fizz away and dissolve and destroy any mould or bacteria growing on the tubers. And once we've done that, we will just drain these, pat these quite dry, and again put them into plastic bags, put them somewhere warm like the airing cupboard, and we'll compare them, see which ones start growing quicker, the ones that have been soaked for a couple of days or the ones that have just gone straight into the bag. So the Colocasia and Xanthasoma have been in the airing cupboard for 11 days now. So I'll just show you the progress of these after that time. So first of all, Xanthasoma that we just put in the bag with a couple of breaths of air for moisture. As you can see at the top there is a bit of pink poking through. The shoot is just starting, but there's no other shoots on there or roots forming at all, but it's alive and that's going to be fine, albeit slow. Now we move to the Colocasia. It's had the same amount of time as the Xanthasoma, and again just a breath of air put into the airing cupboard, and as you can see there's a nice thick shoot on that and a very small little one just by the side of it. No other shoots as such, and no shoots further down, but that's going to grow away fine. No sign of mould either, which is great. So that's worked well in 11 days. Now we move to the Xanthasoma that was soaked for 1 or 2 days in warm water that were changed. And as you can see, we've got a nice healthy big shoot on there. And there's also, if you look carefully, white roots around there as well. Plus there's a further shoot on the side, several shoots on the side and more roots, and then even if we go further down there's a shoot near the bottom there. So there's plenty of life in that one, no sign of mould. So that one's doing well and much further on than the one that was just put in the airing cupboard without soaking. And then we've moved on to the Colocasia that was soaked for 1 or 2 days. You can see it's gone crazy, and we have lots and lots of growth points with roots. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's about 10 or 12 shoots on there in total, and there's roots on many of them as well, so that will produce lots and lots of plants, which is great. So you can see after just 11 days they've all started to grow, but the ones that have been soaked are growing a lot better. So these will stay in these plastic bags for quite a while longer while they start growing a bit more roots and more shoots, and then they'll be potted up in about a week or so. So this Colocasia tuber has been in the plastic sealed bag in the airing cupboard for bang on 3 weeks now, and as you can see all the shoots have developed and they've got plenty of roots starting to form around the shoots as well. So all you need to do now is just pot that up. Here I've got a pot of multi-purpose compost 50% and perlite 50%. I'll just pop the Colocasia in there. Just press that down and gently cover with the compost, just to cover it so the roots are in contact with it. And as you can see, the little shoots are still just above the surface, or many of them are. Some will be buried further down, but they'll grow round and up and out. So if you just give that a little water, ideally give it some bottom heat, so put it above a radiator or ideally in a heated propagator. Give it a decent water, cover with a plastic bag to keep it nice and warm in there, and after you see the first leaves starting to grow, take the bag off and can water in it when it dries out, and there you are. Colocasias for about 10-20 pence each. You can put in the garden in the summer and they can cover a large area for only a few pounds. And so a few weeks later you'll end up with a plant like this, nice green leaves, this Colocasia, that can be planted out in the summertime. All for just 20 pence from a market. There you are. What are you looking at? You're looking at me now? 100 ml of water in there. Make sure you only put... Stop it. So put that somewhere warm. It's a lot easier about you. So put that... Right.